Keeping the vision and keeping the focus is very important so that you don't get lost in the middle and not understand exactly your why you came home and what you're doing. Hi, my name is Florence Kamandu, and I'm back to you again to talk to you about the second class that I took, which was Centonomy Entrepreneurship. After I did the 101, I just could not stop these classes because they were quite an eye-opener in many aspects. Now, speaking as a diasporan who's come back home, I should say that we come with a completely different mindset of how we live out there and how business is conducted out there. And we do not take the time as Kenyans or as beings to step back and sit down and learn our new environment, forgetting that we've not been home for the number of years that we've not been home. We come assuming that it is the way it is. It is not. I can tell you that when I was coming, I had to make a conscious decision to start my life again, and starting my life again means learning from scratch, of which I did. Knowing that I'm coming also to give back what I have learned out there, I think the most humbling thing was first to learn what's in the country and see how then I fit back in the system. That is very important for all of us out there to first do before we venture into any project that we have in mind, because we simply will fail if we come using the mindset out there. So I advise all of us to please take a minute, breathe fast, take the time it takes, learn the system, learn the environment, the new environment, learn the people, because our people are very different from the people we are living with out there. And so that is what I decided to do. And I then did the entrepreneurship class, which helped me a lot in terms on how to set my business in Kenya, to understand how the systems, how the government systems work, how the legal systems work, how the bank system works here, to be able to integrate totally and to understand and to know the specific questions that I'm going to ask out there in the process of building whatever project I have in mind. So I decided to first be informed, and through Centonomy, on how we in Kenya work before I now come up and set my structures up. The third module was also very interesting, which was on fear and vision, which we all have to feel the fear and leave the fear, then move forward, because that's the only way. And when we come home as diasporians, we see a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that I should say our people back home don't see. But because we've got another eye and we've lived a different world out there, we see very many opportunities. But then I will ask all of us to be very, very focused on what exactly we want to start with before we roll out the many other opportunities that we see. So keeping the vision and keeping the focus is very important so that you don't get lost in the middle and not understand exactly your why you came home and what you're doing. So that was a class that was also very empowering, and it helped me understand that I'm on the right path, and that it helped me also know that I'll make it no matter what, because I can say Kenyans are just beautiful people. Our people are beautiful people. They have the time to walk you through and help you out in whatever you have to, which was quite surprising and quite pleasant in my experience in this 1 year that we've had. So for my entrepreneurship class, we did it also online because, as you all know, the pandemic has still gone on. I can say it was lovely, being done back home. Quite technical, I should say, because if it's not it has not been your career, or you've had other professions, when you're coming to finance and business, it's also very different. So it was technical, I should say, but quite very well put, with live examples and understanding things in a very basic way, but living in the world we are living in today. Because the case studies we had were quite interesting case studies on how a Mandazi lady can move from one business to the other. So it really made it very possible and gave me the confidence to know that from whatever small thing that you want to do, there's a world of opportunities in Kenya. There's a world of opportunities. You will sell whatever is in your mind. Whatever you want to, you will have market for it. After I finished my entrepreneurship course, the first thing I did was open up my companies and then put down the structures, because we had a module on structuring your business. So I did the structuring of the business. And then the other thing that was very interesting was understanding the taxation. Personal taxation and corporate taxation. Those are two very different things, and I had to learn and understand that they do not marry, and there is no way, because we understood very well from the classes that a company is a different entity. It's a person on its own. So I cannot just decide to go and dip my hands into the pocket and use the finances from the business, because then when audit comes, I have questions that I'll have to answer. So it also helped me as a Kenyan to put myself back into the system, into the Kenyan system, and get my personal KRA PIN running. And it felt good, and it felt good to belong back. So I think I'm fully integrated into the system and ready to go. Well, I think my parting shot on the entrepreneurship class is I should tell each and every person who walks on this earth to take up the entrepreneurship class, because we think we can just stand up one day and start a business. And we have a lot of people who will tell you this is the way to go, this is the way to go. And we find ourselves having burnt our fingers so much and maybe lost so much money in it that it's not worth it. What I can advise all of us is come to the Centonomy class. And what's most beautiful is that we have experts who talk on each module. They get the best in the market who come and teach us on all the subjects that we have to. And what is I think the most beautiful thing is that the teachers are accessible to us thereafter to work with you and help you really grow whatever you have decided to grow business-wise. So I would tell each and every one of us after 101, please sign up for the entrepreneurship, because it's a continuation of understanding how to deal with money and how to build your fortunes later.